Wrestling figure collecting is expanding at a rapid rate. Every single week, we are getting tons of reveals, and this week is no different. We have a bunch of stuff to show off. I'm talking AEW, WWE, and a bunch of independent stuff, and we're going to get right into it now, starting off with a little bit of discussion about my new book, The Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia. There are two versions, the modern edition, which covers everything from 2010 to present day, as well as the Mattel version, which is going to feature just Mattel items at a discounted rate. Both of these books in both hardcover and paperback are available everywhere: Walmart, barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, but you can get those links by just going to heelbooks.com right now and supporting the channel. I thank all you guys who have picked them up already and love them so far. So thank you very much for helping us get to being a #1 bestseller on Amazon. But as far as reveals go, we are going to discuss this Latuni upcoming September 19th drop of Andre the Giant in a suit, short hair. You know, this is from that iconic promo with Hulk Hogan and everything like that. But what I will say is that collectmajor.com just put out a fan vote for the next Andre the Giant, asking what people would want to see. And the two options were to have a fro Andre the Giant or essentially this. So personally, I do think this looks good for Latuni. I'm going to wait for the major one because we all know that it's coming and it'll be a little bit more uniform for my collection. But this does look very good. Latuni.com if you are interested on September 19th. And then Title Run Toys showed off their upcoming Mike McGuirk prototype sample, which looks awesome. There's going to be two versions. Each one comes with a removable microphone. As you can see here, she's in that blue and white gear, the long hair. The likeness is pretty good and does have a black and gold microphone. But this one, honestly, in my opinion, pops the most. The black and the red with the gold vest and bow tie. I think this is such a cool figure. And I am a sucker for anybody getting their first figure, their only figure. But since there's two versions here, I'm probably going to pick, and I think I'm going to go with this red variant. But I'm curious if you guys are interested in getting a Mike McGuirk figure. And if so, which one are you going to go with? TitleRunToys.com if you're interested, or on Instagram at TitleRunToys to check out more. Also, KWK, Kayfabe Heroes, they just had a new signing, and it says Legendary NWA Tag Team First Figures Ever. And initially, I was like, oh, it's got to be Rock and Roll Express. But that doesn't make sense because they've had figures. They've had Classic Superstars, they've had Pint Size All-Stars, they've had Micro Brawlers, and now they've had Big Rubber Guys. So I'm curious what you guys think as far as who this tag team could be. And I'm sure some of you are going to name it and know exactly who it is. So I would love to know what you guys think is coming to KWK in a tag team set. Also, Matt Maniacs from the Golden Era of Wrestling and the NerdClosetOnline.com, they just recently dropped their Road Warriors in black with the very 80s style makeup on their website, the NerdClosetOnline.com, and they have vowed to give the first 500 to buy the Road Warriors, they will get 4 red and black gauntlets. So that means that you're going to get gauntlets for your red variants, which I think is a pretty cool touch because that was the one thing that was missing. And as you can see, these new black variants are going to have them. So you could complete your previous set just by pre-ordering this one, which I think is a nice little pre-order incentive. You know, we've gotten prints before, we've gotten stickers, we've gotten cutout masks, we've gotten other accessories, but I do think that this is a very good incentive for anybody who already collects this line. They also showed off an upcoming single release of Danhausen, and I will be completely honest, I love this figure. I thought I was Danhausened out, but I mean, I think the gear they chose for this is incredible with the teeth around the waistband, all of the colors on there. I think his tattoos absolutely pop on this. Plus, he already has a cartoon look to him. So to be in a more cartoon style form factor, I feel like is very fitting for Danhausen. So I think they're going to do great with this one. But it doesn't stop here because he is going to have his entrance cape, which looks just as awesome. And I like the way that it kind of wavers around his arms and kind of slopes down so you can still see his tights with it on. And the back has a very Matt Maniacs drawing of Danhausen's face and says, "Love that Danhausen," which we all love that Danhausen. So I'm very excited for this one to see it. And look, see how it like kind of contours to his foot? It's like perfectly fit for the figure, which I think is so cool. Now, Major, couple months back, they put up an Allie Katch figure for her injury to help raise some funds so she could pay for her medical bills. And those of you that ordered it, you should be receiving yours in the mail very, very soon. And here is an early look at it. As you can see, she's got that reddish hair. She's got that light blue gear on. I do wish though that she had like the headlights on there. However, I understand they're not going to do a whole new mold for this, and that's totally understandable. But they will be shipping soon, so stay tuned for that. And at their big ass extreme bash at Kowloon's, Major WF Pod showed off the upcoming Collect Major Sabu from the Big Rubber Guys Extreme line. Now, this isn't going to be a series drop. I'm told it's going to be almost like just a single figure rollout, which is still just as cool. But Sabu comes with a removable headdress. He's going to have his iconic green pants on with the sash, white boots, pointing to the sky, Sabu on the left arm, and scars all over. The likeness is pretty good. I love how he has hair streaming down in front of his forehead, but it is easily covered up with the headdress. My question is, the picture with the headdress on has red stripes on it. The picture with the headdress off just has a yellow wrap around it. So I'm curious which one it will be. I'm assuming it's going to be the multicolored with the red on there. And here it is in package. As you can see, they're going to have a different color scheme as far as the packaging goes. This color scheme actually reminds me very much so of those Kickboxer ones that they dropped. Excited for this. Any Big Rubber Guy wrestling figure, I am 100% picking up, especially this one. They showed off an upcoming Raven, and he's going to have his ECW Raven shirt that says, quote the Raven, nevermore, his torn up jeans, all of his tattoos, which I think is pretty cool. The socks coming out of his boots. I think they cut the shirt perfectly. The hair looks great. This is awesome. Love that he's in that T pose. The only other option for a pose that I would have wanted from a Raven is him sitting down so you could put him kind of in the corner of a ring or right in front of your collection. I think that would have been really cool, very unique and very different, but this is the next best thing. And this Raven is going to come with a removable flannel shirt that goes around his waist. I'm curious how it's going to fasten and if it's going to fasten easily or if it's going to be pretty difficult to remove. If it's difficult to remove and add, I would just kind of like that to be molded on there, but it is what it is. I am excited for this, and I'm definitely picking this one up. And the last one in the Big Rubber Guys Extreme reveals that we got was Tommy Dreamer. And he comes in that Dreamer merch shirt from ECW, Innovator of Violence on the back with the T-pose. Kind of funny because I feel like he could have been in the T-pose as opposed to Raven, and Raven been in the squat position, which I would have liked. Looks like Tommy. I like that he's got all the red boots, very reminiscent of his original San Francisco Toymakers figure, albeit the t-shirt's different, and the wrapped fist. This is pretty cool. I would have liked to have seen him come with some kind of weapon or something like that. I think that would have been very fitting for the Innovator of Violence. But I am excited for these Extreme Big Rubber Guys, and I hope that they come soon. But we can expect them in 2026. Also, Matt Cardona showed off a carded sample of the upcoming real Ghostbusters style Matt Cardona figure, the Deathmatch Buster, which I love. He comes with a green barbed wire bat. It has an All Hail the Deathmatch King bubble above his head. Cardona on the gear there. He's got his elbow pads and his gloves. The back has the Deathmatch Busters logo, and there is the back of the carding. There's also going to be a bloody variant. I think there's going to be 3 different variants of this. I'm not sure on price point, but these are supposedly dropping very, very soon on collectmajor.com. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Now, last week we showed off those Wrestling Collector Shop Stone Cold Steve Austin pops. I told you I didn't think they were going to be Stone Cold Steve. I didn't think they were going to be Wrestling Shop exclusives, but they're not. They're Wrestling Shop exclusives overseas, internationally, and in the States it is exclusive to Entertainment Earth. That's why I was telling guys, don't go on there and buy them right now because I do think it's going to be available. We've gotten this figure before, right? We've gotten this Stone Cold in Funko Pop form, but now he's coming with a what speech bubble. I'm not sure if it's enough meat on the bone for me to pick it up. Limited to 9,500. So if you're interested, you can go to tinyurl.com/SC9500 and you can order now. So very, very cool. Exclusive to Entertainment Earth, and Wrestling Shop. Now, Moose Toys, they recently dropped some Goo Jit Zu, Heroes of Goo Jit Zu, which are essentially these goo-filled Stretch Armstrong style figures. I have them all. Rock, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. But now it seems like they're continuing the line. And starting off with Seth Rollins here, all white pants with just the SR on it, white wristbands, and a very, very Jesus-looking head. I did not know this was Seth Rollins until I saw that logo on the quad. I was like, who is this? Jesus Rollins here, and honestly, doesn't look great, but once it goes on clearance, I'm probably going to pick it up just because I have the other ones. But man, this is a rough one. However, there's another figure they showed, and I'm not sure whether or not these are going to be singles or in a two-pack, but we saw this. CM Punk is getting a Heroes of Goo Jit Zu. Now, he's got his taped fist, and I'm very curious if he's going to have the X on the back of his hands. He's got black long boys on and a CM Punk merch shirt. The likeness on this one does look much better than that of the Seth Rollins, but still a little iffy. A little iffy on these. I was kind of shocked that they were continuing the line, but looks like they don't plan to stop yet. I wonder if there's going to be anybody else, maybe some females. We shall see. But yeah, Heroes of Goo Jit Zu is continuing from Moose Toys. Now, last but not least, Mattel Creations calendar has been updated. And it says that on Wednesday, September 17th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is going to be doing a drop. All right. On the 20th, they're going to be doing another drop. Again, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we know what that September 17th drop is going to be, and that is going to be the WWE Superstars 2-pack, the evolution of The Rock. You're going to have Rocky Maivia and the final boss Rock. So now there's going to be 3 Rock Superstars figures. This is a must-get for me. They showed this off at San Diego Comic-Con. We knew it was coming because things were leaked on eBay, and these are now going to be able to get in collectors' hands on September 17th. So if you're interested in these and you like the Superstars line, make sure that you pick one up. I know I will be. I love the final boss figure. I love the Rocky Maivia figure. Honestly, I think this is a great set. But I understand a lot of people aren't the biggest Rock fans right now, so I'm curious how this is going to do, but I 1,000% am picking this up. Love the tattoos, okay? Tattoos are not something that is commonplace in the Superstars line, so I do love when we do see them. And the early Rocky Maivia with the new head, I dig that as well. So that means that The Rock is going to have 3 Superstars figures, each with an individually unique head. But as for that other date, September 20th, a lot of speculation. People are guessing that it's going to be Thug Life CM Punk, made-to-order figure. However, what I'm expecting, and I could be wrong, this is just me speculating, what I'm expecting is the upcoming Jesse the Body Ventura Ultimate Edition Mattel Creations exclusive. And this was one of my most highly anticipated figures from San Diego Comic-Con that we saw. He comes with those blue jeans, snakeskin boots, cloth goods shirt, has the Jesse bandana as well as his commentating microphone, but also his very Predator-esque bent hunting hat, an old school WWE microphone, and 3 interchangeable heads, all with completely different facial hair, which I love. I didn't see enough people talking about that. Each one has unique facial hair. So we've got the Jake the Snake Roberts style stash. We've got the Fu Manchu style goatee stash. And then we've got the short stash. So I think each head is exceptional. And this is what I'm expecting to see drop Mattel Creations on the 20th. And I'm not sure if it's going to be ready to ship at the time, but we shall see. Curious what you guys think will be dropping on September 20th. So that is our reveals for this week. And honestly, I'd say there's a pretty good amount of stuff. Probably some things you didn't know was coming. But hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at FigHeal. Twitter is at TheFigHeal. Pick up the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com, or simply go to healbooks.com and make sure you join Whatnot at whatheal.com, and you will get $15 off your first purchase. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you for joining me, and please smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE Mattel, AEW Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need Fig Heel's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 7,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With figure photography by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Full-color paperback and hardcover editions available now at heelbooks.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeel. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at whatheel.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.